Trenches Politics TV up in this piece. When we get on live stream, niggas, cause I wanted to get high. I'm gonna get it high today, nigga. I ain't even lying to you, gang.
What's up, gang? Welcome back to Trenches Politics TV. We definitely politic from the trenches. An Olney High School teacher was the victim killed in a murder-suicide on Monday in the Grays Ferry section of Philadelphia. Police said Wednesday that Andrea Glaze, 36, died after being shot inside of her home on the 1300 block of South 30th Street. Officers arrived around 1:14 p.m. to find that Glaze had been shot in the head. A 42-year-old man named Richard Harper was also found dead with what the police believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. And the gun was found next to Richard Harper's body, police said. Olney High School principal Michael Roth said in a letter to the school community that Glaze was the special education compliance monitor and longtime beloved teacher. Glaze spent 10 years at Olney High School, and students and staff say she was more like a family member to the whole school. Now, if you haven't caught anything that I'm talking about, make sure you check it out on this next clip. But make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share the video, and drop a comment to the situation after the video is over. Thanks.
Teacher in Philadelphia was the victim of a murder-suicide. Police say Andrea Glaze was killed on Monday night in Grays Ferry.
Glaze worked at Olney High School, and tonight there is a growing memorial right there outside of her office.
It is Wednesday night, and the big story in Action News is the murder of a teacher in Philadelphia.
Tonight, students and staff members are mourning while trying to make sure her legacy lives on. Action News reporter John Paul live for us now at Olney High School with more on this story. John.
Yeah, Shari, it really came as a surprise, a shock to all the students and staff here. There's a memorial starting to take shape inside the school. There's also a more permanent one in the works. But, Rick, Shari, it's obvious that she left a real impact on everyone who knew her. Andrea Glaze spent 10 years inside the walls of Olney High School. In that time, she held a number of titles, from assistant to teacher and coordinator. But the students and staff say she was more like a family member.
She was honestly, not even a friend, more like a sister to all of us. It was a surprise. Miss Glaze was the sweetest person I ever knew. Every time you see her, she always smiling.
That's why the school community was so devastated to learn that Miss Glaze was killed on Monday. Police say she was killed in a murder-suicide on South 30th Street in Grays Ferry. As her students and coworkers learned of her death, this memorial started to take shape on the doors of her office.
We didn't organize them. They just did it. This was known as the hub. And they would come looking for her, and she would, always be in there, ready to listen.
The school's we truly lost a really big part of our community.
As the memorial grows on these walls, the school also wanted to make a more permanent memorial to recognize her love.
She embodied Olney love. She was a light everywhere she went. She blessed everyone she came into contact with. She was Olney love.
So they started a GoFundMe page. The idea, to create a scholarship in honor of Miss Glaze to keep her memory alive.
We are going to give out every year to a graduating senior who also embodies that light and that love here in the Olney school community.
There's also a memorial being planned for Monday night right here outside.
High School is remembering a dedicated educator. 36-year-old Andrea Glaze was killed in a murder-suicide in the Grays Ferry section on Monday. Students and staff are in disbelief over the tragedy. A makeshift memorial grows outside Glaze's office while there are plans to make sure her memory lives on at the school. Action News reporter Catherine Scott is live at Olney High with how the campus is coping. Catherine.
Matt, this is just such a devastating loss for the school community. A vigil will be held at the school on Monday to remember this teacher gone too soon.
Miss Glaze was the sweetest person I ever knew. Every time you see her, she always smiling.
Students and staff at Olney High School are grieving the death of a beloved teacher. And
school is mourning the loss of a beloved teacher who police say was killed in a murder-suicide. This is the 10 o'clock news. I'm Jason Martinez.
I'm Sheba Russell. Students and staff at Olney High School are grieving tonight, remembering their cherished special education teacher. And Steve school leaders say Andrea Glaze was a bright light.
Yeah, they use that word bright because everybody we met tonight told us she was the shining star of the Philly School District.
She just embodied love, and it's just the hardest thing to just go through, just learning of her death.
Students and staff here at Olney High School still stunned 2 days after special education teacher Andrea Glaze was shot and killed in a murder-suicide Monday afternoon inside a home on 30th Street in Philadelphia.
She just loved everyone, and she was just really patient with parents and students, and that's the thing that I think we're all going to really...
A Philly school is
missed.
And trying to explain what happened to all her students has added to the difficult days this week at school.
It's such a hard thing to explain. I think it's hard for us to even wrap our heads around about how this could happen to such a wonderful person.
What they learned from Philadelphia police is that the 36-year-old in the prime of her life was shot by a 42-year-old male acquaintance, Richard Harper, who was found next to her dead of a gunshot wound police believe was self-inflicted. A gun found next to Mr. Harper's body. A GoFundMe has been established and raised more than half of its $20,000 goal so far for a scholarship called the Andrea Glaze Olney Love Scholarship to be awarded to a senior each year. It says to continue the positive impact she had on all of us.
It's been a long process of just talking to the students and listening to them, listening to our staff. She was the heart and center of Olney. I never thought that something like this would happen. I mean, yes, we work in a very tough community, and a lot of our students experience gun violence, but I didn't expect anything like this to hit Olney.
Any hint that she was having any issue?
Not at all. She had such a bubbly personality. She always found the positive outlook in anything. So no, we never knew any troubles that she had. She was always super positive.
Well, they will have a vigil at Olney High School starting at 6:15 Monday to honor Andrea's memory. Jason Shiva, funeral arrangements have not been announced just yet.
All right, Steve, it's just so heavy. It's a lot to take in right now.
Also, somebody had commented on the comment section of the Instagram account that posted the situation. The same situation happened to my people yesterday. And as they go into more detail on the situation, they clarified it was in Clayton, New Jersey. Check it out in his next clip right here.
South Jersey, a tragic scene unfolding in Gloucester County where we're told 2 people are dead. This is the 10 o'clock news. I'm Jason Martinez.
And I'm Sheba Russell. It has been a tough, emotional night for family and friends as they arrived at an apartment complex in Clayton. Steve Keeley is live for us in Clayton, New Jersey tonight. And Steve, you spoke with the family. What are you learning?
I talked to this victim's 20-year-old son. He's one of 5 children, and I just spoke to her mother. And this victim was an only child, and her mother, just a beautiful woman in herself. And she said and confirmed what the son had told me, that her daughter had been fighting lymphoma, had beaten cancer after a 10-year struggle, just was diagnosed with lupus, was here at her boyfriend's house. And his family is also here in Clayton, which is right down North Broad Street, where you see still a heavy police presence and a lot of family and friends from both of these people. And so the son, Damian Green, who's 20 years old, was on the phone with his girlfriend. So the niece of the victim, another adult woman, and 2 children were with this victim when she came to retrieve a lot of her belongings, when the witnesses told us that he shot her twice, then shot at them as they got into her car, and then they saw him shoot himself. Here's some of what Damian told me.
My mom's not here no more, and that's the only person I ever had. And I want everybody to feel my pain and understand that this is real. This is real life. It's not a game.
And so he is heartsick because mom said to him, even though she just beat cancer, and then found out she had lupus, she thought she was going to die. And he's like, don't say that, Mom. And then he gets this news over the telephone as this is just breaking. And they're calling him saying, get over here. Your mother's just been shot. And I told him to go find some police. He found me first, asking me what I knew. And then as I just went down the street just before airtime, the victim's mother came up and hugged me. And she said, it's so bad to meet you at the scene of my daughter's murder, my only child, who was just a beautiful young woman, even though this victim just in the 40s. And then I talked to a well-known law enforcement source down here with the Gloucester County Prosecutor's Office, who confirmed that this was a suicide, and they always say no danger to the public, but there's a gun on scene and there's 2 victims on scene, and a lot of people who knew both of them still on the scene. So this will be a heavy police presence for quite a while into the early morning hours tonight as they all continue this investigation. But just sad from both families' aspects. The people that knew the man didn't want to believe it, couldn't believe it had happened when they were hearing the news as they raced down here too. So Jason Shiva, just awful news here in the heart of Gloucester County. We've got Glassboro Police helping out, Monroe Township Police, and of course the Clayton Police and Gloucester County Prosecutor's Office all teaming up to keep this scene peaceful and get this investigation going.
Such a large police presence there and so many family members grieving tonight. Just terrible, terrible.